I've got exactly one job today. Put an end to the 2027 lockout or be remembered as the commissioner that canceled baseball. No pressure, right? On lockout2027.com, you jump in as the MLB commissioner and try and strike a deal with the players, the owners, and the fans to bring back baseball to everybody. I'm proud to partner with Lockout 2027, and they put me in the game as my own media member. The way to unlock my character is easy. The first name is Mr., the last name is Stripes, and the media outlet is Stockings and Stripes. When it asks you to choose an appearance, just click the top left one, Professional. That'll populate my character into your game in the bottom right corner. Then click Next and pick your next media member. As a Cincinnati guy, my second media member is going to be Boomer Esiason. Just like that, I'm in your game to cover your job as the commissioner. Boomer Esiason, the other media member that's going to criticize me as the commissioner, and he pointed out it's a lockout, not a strike. When there's a fight between billionaires and millionaires, not many people want to get in the middle, but I'm ready to jump in as the commissioner and bring baseball back to the fans. The first order of business is figuring out who won the World Series, as that's going to greatly impact how this lockout goes. Easiest way to do that is hit this random number generator and pick whatever team it lands on. We're picking team number 20. Team number 20 is the New York Yankees, and I feel like that's a pretty good team to get for the realism of this challenge. They're the favorite to win the American League and the second favorite to win the World Series behind the Dodgers. You get to pick a star player in the MLB that's going to criticize you throughout this challenge. I decided to go with one of the guys that I personally like, Bobby Witt Jr. Next, you pick an owner who's going to give you inside information during this challenge. I'm going with the Cincinnati Reds owner, Bob Castellini. You also get to pick a union leader who's going to give you some inside information on the players and how they react to your choices. I'm going with Brent Suter, former Cincinnati Red. The last choice is picking your agent. I'm going with Greg Jensky. He's the guy that represents Chase Burns from the Reds. Let the games begin. Rob Manfred just got fired. As you can see, Mr. Stripes is now reporting that I'm the new commissioner in Major League Baseball. Boomer Esiason's right. I'm walking into the biggest crisis Major League Baseball's seen since the 90s. With Boomer's well wishes on my side, I'm hopeful that I can bring baseball back to the players and the fans. The first big decision is how we're going to address the media. We get 4 choices. We can be diplomatic, where we try and unite everybody at once. We can be aggressive, where we put a firm deadline on our ability to end the lockout. We can take the strategic approach and take a step back from the media and let them know we got to hear both sides first. The last generated response is the populist, and that's where we try to appeal to the fans and let them know I'm on your side and I want baseball back just as bad as you do. But what fun is picking something that's already made for you? Let's write our own statement. I'm keeping it short and sweet in my first address to the media, just letting everybody know that I'm honored to be the new commissioner. I want to see players on the field, fans in the seats, and I want to bring America's game back. The opening statement was a success in my eyes. I didn't want either side to take it as a win. I wanted both sides to receive it well and realize, okay, this is a guy that wants to bring baseball back for everybody. And I feel like that's exactly what happened. I thought my statement pleased both sides, but it appears Bobby Witt Jr. saw right through it. He's wondering what I'm actually going to do to fight for the players, get them back on the field, and earning their paychecks again. My opening statement might not have been received well by all the players, but the owners seemed to love it because I didn't promise to give away any of their money. But little do they know, that's coming soon. Brent Suter's also seeing right through my opening statement. It sounds great in theory, but where's the actual plan to get these players back on the field? Mr. Stripes seems to love my opening statement. He said it was deliberately vague and emotionally accessible, and that's exactly what I was going for. I wanted the players and the owners to feel like I was on their side early, and I wanted the fans to know they're getting their game back as soon as possible. Boomer Esiason and Mr. Stripes have wildly differing opinions on my opening statement. Boomer thinks I gave everybody a, quote, Hallmark card, and truth be told, he's right. I didn't want to please any side, and I didn't want any side to hate me, and that's kind of the feeling you get after you open up a Hallmark card, so I'll say mission successful. After getting through all the cutscenes, the game shows you how your decision was received by the players, the owners, and the general public. I received an increase in approval rating by all 3 groups, 2% by the players, 3% by the owners, and 6% by the general public. Bobby Witt Jr. woke up with baseball on his mind. He's wondering what my actual plan is to get players back on the field and fans into the seats. I'm going to hold my middle ground approach a little bit longer. I'm going to ignore the tweet altogether, not show favoritism to the players or owners by responding. No changes in approval rating by the owners or the players, and that's exactly what I was going for by ignoring the tweet. The fans are a bit skeptical, but I'll earn their trust back when they see games on the field. As the commissioner of Major League Baseball, I'm going to have to deal with these 5 core key issues. Expansion on if we're going to add more teams to the league, a team salary cap or salary floor to limit the big spenders or punish the penny pinchers, a minimum salary for players, how many years each player has to be with a team before they can hit free agency, and how we're going to do revenue sharing. According to Mr. Stripes, expansion is the first big decision I'm going to have to make as commissioner. My own personal opinion, I don't think expanding Major League Baseball would solve its problems right now, so I'm going to veto expansion. Boomer Esiason does make some good arguments for cities that deserve baseball, like Nashville, Portland, and sending a team back to Montreal, but my decision's final. I'm not going to expand. After vetoing expansion, we have 108 days until opening day and even less to bring back baseball if we want a full 162-game season. Before the holidays, I'm going to target the minimum salary. That way, when everybody gets back, we can start talking a salary cap and a salary floor. The decision to target a minimum salary before the holiday break seems to have been received well by the players' union. Brent Suter makes a great point about rookie salaries, and the best example of that is Jordan Walker. He's not going to make $1 million in salary this year playing for the Cardinals, but he just won over $1 million winning the Home Run Derby. The owners view this in a completely different manner. They would view an increase in minimum salary as cutting their development budget, which I can see that argument, but I still would like to increase that salary for the players. I'm going to propose a $1 million minimum salary for rookies. I think this is going to go over well with the players and the union. The owners aren't going to like this decision, but I think they'll come to terms with it eventually. With everybody breaking for the holidays and not returning until mid-January, I'm going to have some time to work with no noise from the outside world on how I'm going to bring back baseball. So much for no outside noise. Boomer Esiason hates the break. He feels like we're trying not to ruin the holidays for each other, and truthfully, that's exactly what we're going for. Nobody wants to ruin Christmas for the other side while trying to bring back the game that everybody loves. And a Happy New Year as we enter 2027 with the same problems we had in 2026. It's time to bring back baseball. It's January 13th, and Mr. Stripes has put me on the clock. He said it's time to make some decisions, and I couldn't agree more. Let's go save Major League Baseball. I figured the first big decision I would make out of the holiday break would be a baseball one, but it appears the owners are trying to bribe me a little bit. They're offering me box seats to the Super Bowl. If I didn't feel like I already had the owners on my side, I might go to this game, but with a 58% approval rating, I feel like that's good enough to strike a deal here shortly, so I'm going to turn down the Super Bowl tickets. I feel like we made the right decision turning down the tickets. Brent Suter feels like Rob Manfred would have went to the Super Bowl and delayed negotiations, not Luke Townsend. I'm trying to bring baseball back. Tony Clark's about to release a tell-all book to try and tear down baseball. Let's figure out what we're going to say. Bob Castellini thinks this book's bad for both sides of the aisle, and I completely agree. It describes collusion from the bottom to the top of the totem pole. The decision I'm making is to launch an independent review and side with the players. After putting that book behind us, it's time to talk division realignment and playoff structure. Just like I didn't think expanding the league would solve our problems, I don't think realigning the division will either, so I'm going to veto division realignment just like I did expansion. Just 69 days left until opening day, and we're getting dangerously close to not having a full 162-game season. Let's try and prevent that. We have 3 required issues left to deal with: a team salary cap or salary floor, how many years a player must be on the team before free agency, and revenue sharing. The next issue that I'm going to tackle is the salary cap and the salary floor. Before I do that, I'm going to make a public statement to keep everybody in the loop on where negotiations are. Sending out a simple tweet that lets everybody know the next issue up is salary. A salary cap and a salary floor are both possible. The media members are framing this tweet as strange, and if I was a fan and I saw Rob Manfred tweet this out this offseason, I would be a little confused as well at first, but truthfully, I think that the transparency is what's going to keep this game alive. I thought some transparency would work in our favor with at least the fans, but not to be. All 3 groups went down in approval rating. -7% by the players, 3% by the owners, and 2% by the fans. First, Bobby Witt's tweeting at me, and now the president. He's demanding that I fix baseball or he's going to step in, and that's the last thing I want to happen. The president may be commander-in-chief of this nation, but he's not commander-in-chief of Major League Baseball, because that's me. I'm going to ignore his tweet and act like I just never saw it. After being tweeted at by the president and choosing to ignore that, we lost approval rating across the board yet again. -2% from the players and the owners, 3% from the fans. My decisions made on the salary cap and the salary floor, we're going with a $90 million salary floor, and we're going to increase the luxury tax by 15%. I think this is the best of both worlds. If you have money, you shouldn't be penalized and you should be allowed to spend it. But if you have money and refuse to spend it, I think you should spend it, so we can get these small market teams back to being competitive year in and year out. The $90 million salary floor and the 15% increase to the luxury tax has gone over well with the players' union, and super agent Greg Jensky seems to approve of my proposal as well. We get the small market teams spending, and if the big market teams want to keep spending, that's fine, but you're going to be taxed. We're batting 1,000 when it comes to the salary issues. The players, the agents, now the owners all approve. $90 million salary floor and a 15% increase to the luxury tax. I thought I went 3 for 3, but I'll take 2 for 3. A 9% increase in approval rating by the players and the fans, a 4% decrease by the owners. The next issue we're going to tackle is service time before free agency. The players want less service time, so in their prime, they can hit the open market and make as much money as possible. The owners want a longer service time. That way, when they draft a player and spend years developing them in the minor leagues, they get to reap the benefits when they hit their prime. The decision I'm making is to go with 6 years and ban service time manipulation. I think this is a win-win. Players will still be able to enter free agency in their prime, and organizations are no longer allowed to send guys up and down without starting their clock. It's February 6th, and after negotiating service time, we hit one of the soft deadlines. Today, pitchers and catchers were supposed to report, and none of that's going to happen as we're still yet to strike a deal. While I'm slowly earning the trust of the players and the owners, I'm quickly losing the trust in the fans. Save Baseball's trending on Twitter, and that's not something I wanted to see as the new commissioner of Major League Baseball. It's time to handle the last issue before we send our proposal off to both sides for negotiation, the last issue being revenue sharing. I don't know how this will go over with the owners, but I'm pretty sure it'll be okay with the players. I'm going to propose a tiered revenue sharing system where small market teams get more money. That gives them the ability to pay more players and compete better down the road. I wasn't sure how the owners would take it, but it seems like they're taking it okay. Bob Castellini thinks helping the small markets would actually address the competitive issues without punishing the better teams. Here's my initial proposal. We're going to deny expansion. We're putting a $90 million salary floor in place with a 15% increase to the luxury tax. We're going to go with a $1 million minimum annual salary for rookies. We're going to maintain 6 years of service time but ban service manipulation. And we're going to go with a tiered system for revenue sharing that favors the small market teams. If we can wrap up this deal now, we'll still have a full 162 game season, and that's my ultimate goal. It's time to submit the initial proposal. So far so good as the owners approve the proposal to end the lockout. Great news is the players also approve my proposal. And on February 6th, 2027, we end the lockout, and we're going to have a full 162 games of Major League Baseball. As we wrap up the video, let's take a look at our commissioner grade and our commissioner score. We received an A with a score of 5,884. If you want to play this game yourself, head to lockout2027.com. Send me a screenshot of your commissioner grade and your commissioner score, as well as your proposal. And if you use me as your media member, I'd love to see that as well. As always, I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next one.